One Focus Radio.
Welcome to the show, it's Dyer's Daily. Keeping in the know, it's Dyer's Daily. We've got chat, we've got discussion, nice and slow, ain't no rushing, reading emails and events. Sometimes he makes no sense. It's time to start the show, it's Dyer's Daily. He'll be there in a mo, it's Dyer's Daily. We've got plays, we've got interviews, even stuff that's in the news. Local and otherwise, come and try it on for size, it's Dyer's Daily.
Hello and welcome to the Dyer's Daily podcast for January the 18th, 2019. I'm sorry if I've said 2018 at any point, I'm still getting into that mood of stuff, and today is something of an improvised show. I haven't thought about what we're going to talk about, so it's going to be a little bit of a mishmash of everything. But before we do that, have a listen to this podcast promo from another podcast that's out there, and I shall see you in just a moment. Okay, cheers.
Have you ever been reading through a stack of comics and thought, maybe I should see what this Arkham Asylum game is all about? Or been playing Marvel vs. Capcom and felt like you were at a real disadvantage since you didn't know who half the characters were? Well, Play Comics is the show for you. I'm Chris, and each episode we take a look at video games based on comic properties and how well they stick to that source material. So whether you know the comics and want to know how all these games work, or you know the games and want to find out where all this craziness came from, go check out Play Comics at playcomics.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
Dyer's Daily.
And we're back to Friday once again. Yes, indeed. I always feel a bit weird about Fridays, simply because, is it the end of the week or the start of the weekend? I guess it's a bit of both. I don't know. As you can tell, dear listener, I haven't got a subject for today. And what's funny is that I often will come on to the podcast and literally just start talking. I won't plan what I'm going to talk about. I will just go on and start talking because something will come to mind. And I know people have criticized me for that before. I used to do a show with a lady who was a good friend of mine, and she was very up. She's very difficult to keep on one subject. It kind of has to flow around. So I never used to plan anything. And so the show was called Mumble Jumble, which is to speak without thought, apparently. That's some kind of slang. To speak without thought is what Mumble Jumble means. And, of course, what happens then is we go on and talk, and people would criticise us when we went on the air and go, well, you need to write it down exactly what it was you want to talk about. It's like, yes, but how boring is that? And also, sometimes the lady I presented with come out with some absolute gems that you just could not, you couldn't plan. Because if somebody works better by kind of thinking it out loud, and if the whole idea of the show is to do that, some shows are going to be good, some shows are going to be a bit dodgy, some are going to be excellent, and some are going to be really bad. It's just kind of the luck of the draw, really. I know that's not great for those program controllers out there that want it brilliant all the time, but I found that by not planning, or certainly by not kind of having an actual schedule, now we're going to talk about this, now we're going to talk about that, now we're going to talk about that, it made it a lot fresher. And even now, when I listen to some of those shows back, I think, do you know what, this is actually quite funny in some ways. I mean, I know you could say that about your own work. Yeah, I was great there. Believe me, I've done some right stinkers. But there have been occasional flashes of brilliance, and it's because we didn't plan anything, because sometimes spontaneity is the key. Right, this has been Dyer's Daily right here. Please remember to rate, comment and subscribe on your favourite podcast provider. Thank you very much. Please email us also if you have any queries or anything. dyersdaily@southwavesaudio.co.uk. You can also tweet at southwavesaudio on Twitter, of course, as well. From me, Jamie Dyer, have a great day. Bye-bye for now.